Hey guys, it's DB here. It's been a while, and I'd like to share my trip from New York to Tokyo on Japan Airlines A35K today, which was a pretty awesome experience. Let's get to it. The A35K got 239 seats and more than a quarter are business or first class seats, since it's mostly used for long-haul flights. My seat today is 3A, which is also the first row in the business cabin. The suite got plenty of space and some pretty interesting technologies, which we'll dive into later. The flight attendant offers some orange juice after boarding, but I think the signature drink Skytime is better. It's a mixed juice of peach and grape, really refreshing and not too sweet. The flight is 14 hours from JFK to Haneda, and it departures a little past midnight and arrives in Tokyo early morning, which is kind of perfect for people with jet lag problems. The plane got live camera views from multiple angles, and it's really nice to be able to see how the aircraft takes off and lands if you're one of the aviation fans. Since it's called a suite, a door is mandatory. But on top of that, it also got 2 closets, one for your jacket and one more for your shoes. The size isn't huge, but it works. In terms of storage, there are plenty. There is a compartment right next to the power outlet and the headphone jack, which is perfect for some smaller items like cell phone or sunglasses. Above that, there is another one which is slightly bigger. I used it for my water bottle and book. The seat control can be done either by the buttons or the remote. The backlit buttons are intuitive and very easy to use. However, I'm not a big fan of the tray-table design. It's pretty large, but because of the single arm design, it wasn't the most stable one. It gets pretty shaky when there's a turbulence. I love checking amenity bags before taking off, so let's check it out. Japanese airlines in general are known for their considerate services, so we have a little bit more today in the bag. A pocket tissue, an eye mask, a dental kit, and surprisingly a cell phone stand. After that, we have a pair of earplugs, some lotion, and a charging cable, which is good for both Lightning and Type-C phones. They also provide a pair of very good quality slippers and a steam eye mask, which is one of my favorite things on the plane. The flight was pretty late, so they don't serve food until later, but the a la carte menu is available anytime, so I got a bowl of ramen with some fruit, which are awesome midnight food options. There is also a galley in the middle of the business cabin. There are some more snacks, water, and a bottle of the famous Hibiki Japanese whiskey. So after the meal, I decided to change into the pajamas and get some sleep. The restroom is normal size with a bidet, of course. There's also a pad to step on when you try to change so that the feet don't get dirty, which is quite nice. The pajamas are not a 2-piece set, but a dress, which feels a little bit weird at the beginning, but turns out to be surprisingly comfortable. I decided to check the IV out before going to sleep, and I think it's the first time for me to see 3 options for the audio. You can use a traditional headphone, your own Bluetooth headphone, or even the built-in speakers. The headphone airline provided isn't great. The built-in speaker concept is really cool, but with all the noises the engine is making, I prefer my own headphone. The remote control is fairly responsive, better than 787 for sure, and the touchpad interaction is also very intuitive to use. When you put it back to the slot, it became a nightstand kind of control panel for basic functions like lighting or seat control. They got a good variety of movies and shows with some Japanese specialty if you are interested, but I was too tired, so I decided to ask the flight attendant to make the bed directly. A mattress is provided besides a standard sheet and pillow set, which is quite nice and gives you some additional support. I have a solid 5 or 6 hours sleep before the food services. There are quite a lot of options for drinks, including some specialties like sake, shoju, or Japanese whiskey. For the food, there are 2 main cuisine types, Japanese or international. Since I don't trust steak in air, I went with the Japanese option. There are also a la carte menu to order from. I started with a glass of champagne as usual. It's from Charles & Heinzig, very foamy taste. I think it's around $100 per bottle. The meal started with some nuts and olives and some assorted appetizers, which are black cod, beef tongue, taro, crab ball, shrimp, and some herring roll. It is similar quality to a Japanese restaurant on the ground, and it was pretty good. The main course I got was chicken and yellowtail teriyaki, along with some ginger and miso soup and rice in a wrapper. Since my stomach is not Japanese, and that was not enough for sure, so I ordered another one, which is sea bass, and it's even better than the last one. I also got some lychee mousse and ice cream for dessert. Now I'm definitely full and ready for landing. Very soon after the meal, we landed in Tokyo, and that was my 14 hours from New York to Tokyo, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.